Well, my friends, this is a video for those that always wanted to know about my disability struggles while being on the road. Now, remember, everybody is going to be challenged by different issues depending on what your disabilities are. So you do want to be always mindful of your disabilities, what could happen on the road, for your particular disabilities, and have a game plan if something should happen, okay? But sometimes you can be surprised, depending on your disability, what it is, of a new situation, okay? So I have been at a lake in Nevada over the holidays. Now, the first location that I was at had a, little flat area as you came in, but you're still on top of sand, but everywhere you had to move, you were walking on top of sand. But it wasn't thick enough right where the rigs were at, so we were able to get out of our rigs okay without the rigs being stuck in the sand. But if we went too far onto the beach, then obviously it would happen. But everywhere we were walking to the bathroom, to each other's rigs, it definitely was thick in sand and uneven. Well, anyway, so what happened is I moved my rig. We were kind of moving rigs around locations to camp, and I stepped out of my rig, and I ended up, actually, no, I take that back. It was when we first got there. I was in my first location. I stepped out of the rig on the driver's side, and I landed weird onto the sand, because remember, sand is kind of uneven. It's not entirely flat. So it kind of threw me off balance a little bit. And then, in the constant walking on the uneven sand, wasn't helping. So I kind of felt this instantly, kind of like a pulled leg muscle on the back thigh area onto the buttocks area. And then later on, I kept just re-injuring this. And so I was wearing my favorite kind of pinkish hat. It's the hat that I was wearing when I was in a picture with Rocky, and Northwest Hiker's dog, Rocky. So I was wearing that hat, and I went to, well, actually, I'm sorry, I have to think about it. So it was windy that day, so it was very, very windy, and the hat blew off, and I just took off running to go after the hat, and then I just barely took a step with my left leg, because everything was on the left side, and next thing I know, I was down on the ground on the sand, and I was screaming in pain. I have never felt such intense pain shooting up my leg buttocks area. I mean, I have had sciatica issues, but this was definitely, I mean, like probably 8 to 9 on a scale of up to 10 of pain level, that it was so intense, and I was screaming in pain and laying on the sand, and Kent came over to me, and then I'm like being a girl still, my hat, please get my hat, and I'm screaming, and I'm still screaming in pain as well as I'm screaming, get my hat, And so anyways, that was pretty incredible from that point on. So then I kept re-injuring it. I had another incident where I had to get out of my chair real quickly, and the pain just shot up, and I tripped going to the bathroom. There's a little kind of concrete slab part as you step up before going into the bathroom, and I tripped over that, landed on my left foot. So I guess I just kept re-injuring this leg and the sciatica, and oh my gosh, I just wasn't recovering. I was needing a lot of rest and sleep. When your pain level's a lot higher, people that don't live in chronic pain don't understand the recovery. You're going to be more sensitive. You need more quiet. You need more rest, and all that walking on the uneven sand wasn't doing very well. So anyways, finally, Kent moved over to another location or cove along this lake, and then I moved over with him by New Year's Eve, which ended up was the breakthrough. It all worked out for the best for my breakthrough to finally get healed. So the more that I was able to be on flat area, not walking on that uneven sand, definitely helped with my improvement of healing, because I was actually starting to wonder, would I make it down to RTR for the gathering and stuff like that. So I'm not 100%. I'm, definitely, probably 75% better. But I allowed myself a lot of extra time to recover and just took it easy, watched for, not tripping over, big rocks and things like that. But anyway, so those are the things that can happen, and you're just gonna have to listen to your body. And if I was in an area where I couldn't move, then I probably would have had to rest a lot more in my van eventually. But lucky we were able to move to this location that had a better flat air ground for me to be able to walk on. So anyways, I will be heading down to RTR and taking my time getting down, listening to my body, driving and resting as much as needed as I work my way down. I Yeah, I just think that sometimes when traveling with people, it can be harder when you are dealing with these situations. So there's times where it's better to travel with people, and maybe sometimes it's better to travel alone so you're not inconveniencing people with your time frame of traveling, of having to take it easy. And it also depends on the other people too, if they are willing to accommodate what it would be necessary to travel. Okay, so those are things just to be thinking about if you are going to be traveling with people, and what are they willing to do. Okay, now Kent is staying behind because he's working his radio through a contest right now, and yeah, and he may show up for RTR, but we all know Kent is a solo camper kind of, he doesn't do crowds. And I'm actually not going to be in the heart of where all the crowds are either myself this year. I am going to be back hopefully a little bit away from the main group. Again, this is going to help me also for my recovery, so I won't be tempted to be walking around a whole lot, so I will have to be more careful about that. And also I think being around a lot of the crowds would affect me from getting adequate rest that I will still need to continue to need as I'm recovering. And I've actually gotten to where a little more like Kent too, where I'm just not liking huge crowds as much as I used to. Well, actually, I don't want to say I ever did, but I definitely could deal with more crowds, but I'm just definitely finding myself to liking less crowds. I love people, and I love being in smaller numbers of people. I've always been that way. So anyways, and that's where last year RTR was a little more far to the right of the main group. But yeah, that's just always been me as my nature as well. All right, so I do plan on making my way down to RTR, but do understand those that are going and want to meet me. Yeah, I'm just going to be somewhere on the outskirts a little bit of the RTR group, near it. I don't know exactly yet where I'll be, because a friend's going to be helping me to find a location where we could be in. We're similar type of camping, so we'll be in similar needs that we want to just be near it, but not really like right in the center of it. Okay, so but I do plan on trying to get over to the main group a couple of times. Okay, oh, here can. All right, I love you all. I'll see you in the next video.